Chronic stress is such a big issue right now. The blurred boundaries, if you're still working from home, remote work is tough to create those boundaries in to the uncertainty of what's coming up in the next 6 months to a year, nobody knows, to the fact that the expectations for productivity and output haven't changed, strangely enough.
Hey, this is Hannah and Lisa. Today's Zoomside Chat is all about stress. We all are experiencing stress in our personal lives and in our work lives. And it's showing up in how we think, it shows up in how we feel in our own bodies, it shows up in how we treat each other, how we treat ourselves. And so what we are going to give you today and provide you with are some of our favorite tools to cope with stress and to manage your own stress. So we're just going to share our favorites and hope that they're helpful for you.
One of my biggest tips when it comes to managing stress is to be vocal about the fact that you are feeling it. I think many people will let themselves get to that point of burnout and then they just leave an organization and the manager has no idea that this person has been stressed or overwhelmed in general. So for me, in a way that is not complaining, but in a way that's presenting the problem and saying, I need help with this, one of the very best ways to manage stress is to tell people that it's happening, whether it's at home, whether it's at work. Use your words, speak the fact that you are stressed. So that's probably my top tip, is actually tell someone that you are stressed who can help you figure it out.
One of my favorite ways to manage stress, and I think is a helpful tool to manage stress, is to mindfully move your body. Stress often shows up in our bodies. For me, it shows up in my chest and my throat, and I start clenching. It shows up in my jaw. I've had so much jaw pain during this year. I don't know about anyone else. And so the tip is to mindfully move, not move to escape from what is happening. And so this can look like yoga, weightlifting, dancing, anything that makes you really tune into how your body feels and moves in that moment can be really, really helpful in processing your stress.
That distinction between moving to escape and moving mindfully is so important. I really, really, really like that. For me, technology is huge and a major, major, major source of stress. And so I often think that technology is a wonderful blessing and also a huge, huge curse. So figuring out how to tame that technology and really #unplug is huge. I have not figured it out, but I'm working on it. And some of the things that I have learned actually from some interviews we've done with clients, and also I'm trying myself. So one thing I picked up directly from a client is shut your computer down completely. Like turn it off at the end of the day. Don't just close it. Don't just leave it in sleep mode. Shut it down so that it is annoying to have to go back in. The same person said she refuses to have work email on her phone. She just doesn't have it. And she was like, it was very scary at first, but I set that expectation and now people know if it's 5 p.m. and they need something from me urgently, they have to call because I'm not going to be checking my email. So I think that's really smart. And then the last thing I'm doing around #unplugging and technology, it's no social media in the morning until 10 o'clock. Creating that space between you and technology is so hugely important. We're on screens feels like 24/7. So creating that distance, that is a huge way for me to de-stress and get back into my present life.
A favorite one for me has been just getting something done. When I get stressed to the point where I'm lost and I'm like, there's a million things to do and the world is falling apart, I get frozen and I don't do anything. And so I choose 3 to 5 small priorities that I can get done in under an hour. Like I can get all 3 to 5 of them done in under an hour. And then I do it. And usually those are the things that I keep pushing off my to-do list. It could be something to do around the house or it could be something with work, but it's 3 to 5 things I know I can get done in under an hour. And then once those small things are taken away, it's like, okay, I've accomplished something. I took control of the time in my life to do something. And so it instantly makes me feel less stressed.
So my final thing it's more of like a mantra than anything when I want to de-stress, is to remember that it's not that serious. Whatever it is that I'm worried about is really not that serious. There are serious things to worry about, but most of the time, 9 times out of 10, whatever I'm worried about, it's fleeting. It will pass. We can default to taking things so seriously, especially in a year where a lot of serious things have happened. It doesn't always have to be that serious, and de-escalating the seriousness of whatever I'm stressed about is so clutch.
My final tip is to say no more with love. And I realize that when I am so stressed, it's because I feel like I have to say yes to everything. I feel like if I say no, it will be catastrophic. And usually that's not the case. Saying no with love is something that a lot of people can understand. And if they don't, that's okay too. So I like to think of, my mom has a pin that is of Kermit saying no. And that's always what I picture when I say no. And it really helps me de-stress. And then if I have emotions too, just to breathe it out, deep breaths, we all know it. They are actually very helpful. So say no and then take a deep breath. And it is really, really powerful for me.
Our de-stress list would definitely not be complete if we didn't share our mutually agreed upon best way of de-stressing. Well, this was really fun. I heard some de-stressing ideas that I hadn't heard from you before, so I'm grateful for this time together. So thank you for tuning in. On our next Zoomside Chat, we are going to be talking about kindness and the role it has at work and how important it is right now. See you then.